Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It is hot in the UK today, but unfortunately it's not hot down in the underpants of Manchester United. In fact, it's cold. In fact, I've seen more action in a nunnery. There's nothing going on with Manchester United, but relax, take it slow. I've got the perfect show for you tonight. We've got to relax. We've got to try and keep it together. This is only going to make you worse. 3 days time. 3 days left until we go on the tour. You've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we're going on the tour. 3 days to make 3 signings to give us the 4 that Mourinho wanted for Sunday. It's not going to happen, is it? We're going into uncharted territory. We are. Look, the US tour. Look, Mourinho wanted the players on the US tour so he could condition them, get them used to the squad, hit the ground running. We've got a relatively decent start to the season, get everyone together. We all know he gave the list to Woodward in April. He expected the players now. We're not probably going to get that. But it is still July the 12th when they go, or the 10th, or whatever it is. And you can still sign players in July and fly them over. But we do need to get our finger out. We definitely do. Morata deal rejected. I believe there's something in that. I want to talk about that in a minute. But I want to just give you a little bit of positivity as well. Look at the clubs who've signed players. They're all desperate clubs. Trying to improve themselves. They've never won the title for bloody years. It's probably a million years combined since they won the title. Who's been signing players? Liverpool, Arsenal have bought one today, and Everton. Have Chelsea signed anyone? I can't think. Have Chelsea signed anyone? I think they've been linked to people. I don't think they've signed anyone yet. Second place Spurs, have they signed anyone? No. Man City, yeah, they have signed a goalkeeper and Bernardo Silva, but we know Pep's bold and desperate as well. And we've signed Lindelof. So if we're desperate, what about Chelsea? What about Spurs? You know, they came second and first last year. Then Chelsea didn't have European football last year. They're going to have to deal with that as title holders. Spurs came second, so they need to improve. They've not signed anybody either. So there is balance, but I won't move away, and it'd be wrong to say everything's fine, because I think that is burying your head in the sand. I do believe Mourinho wanted the players in. He didn't get them. The market. But I tell you what, another positive as well. It won't be lost on you, because I know that you're United fans. I know you're passionate, and I know that's why you watch the United Stand, because you all share your passion, and it's somewhere for you to come and do that. It won't be lost on you that Manchester United have been signing a lot of young players. Again, I think this summer we've signed 3 already. We've been doing it for the last 2 years. It started under Van Gaal. Why do you think Manchester United are buying these talented 16, 15, 17-year-olds? I'll tell you why. Because of what's happening in the market this summer. You know, you're getting Perisic, £50 million. £50 million for a 28-year-old. He's a good player, but he's not worth £50 million. Morata, £70 million rejected. That is why Manchester United are targeting 15, 16 and 17-year-olds. Imagine if you were just turned on for that sentence. You'd think you were on Crime Watch. I'm talking about young footballers, and that is why United are targeting them. And in a few years' time, it will bear dividends, because you've got Gomez, Chung already, and a couple of others, all these other young lads. And I think that's what United are doing, because they are getting mugged off. You know, we absolutely are getting mugged off in the market. And you've got... I don't think Ed Woodward purposely sits there with a finger up his bottom. I actually think Ed Woodward does a good job. I think this summer it's a very, very challenging transfer market. And... whether that doesn't excuse what's happened, but what do you do as chief executive of Manchester United if Jose Mourinho says Ivan Perisic is my number 1 target, he's the one I want, and Ed Woodward's like, they want 50 million, Jose. I can get you Bernardeschi and Costa for that. They're better players. I want Perisic, that's my number 1. I'm not spending 50 million on Perisic. So who's right and who's wrong? It's all right to blame Woodward, but you know what I mean? There's always 2 sides to the story, and we actually don't know one side. Maybe Woodward's saying to Mourinho, are you sure you want this player? Because I can't get him for anything less than 50 million. He's under contract. Inter have played hardball for weeks. I can't get him any better than 50 million. What do you want to do? I want him. You know, so it might be Mourinho. It's in the press that Mourinho's frustrated. Well, maybe Woodward's frustrated because he doesn't want to spend 50 million on a player who's not worth 35. Perisic is worth 35 tops. He's not worth another 15 on top of that. And, you know, Bernardeschi at Fiorentina, Costa at Juventus. There are numerous players who can play that position. You could even go for the lad at Lazio, Felipe Anderson. Again, early 23, 24. Quick, you know, I think we'll get absolutely mugged off if we sign Perisic now. I really do. I think we need to turn away. And actually, you know what? How good is Perisic? He's a good player, but he isn't Messi. I'd sacrifice and walk away and get somebody else, because I think you've got to send that message out as Manchester United now. I mean, I have been a big advocate of signing Perisic. He is a good player, and I would defend him if he came. But I think how long it's gone on now and how much money they want, I think for the sake of the club, we should just walk away. We're bigger than that. We shouldn't be getting mugged off. And the stupid thing is, Inter Milan will probably get 50 million for Perisic, sign Bernardeschi for 30, get a better, younger player, and mug us off. Which brings me to Morata. I mean, what do you think about Morata? £70 million bid rejected. That was the story around lunchtime today. Some people are saying it's true. Some people are saying we have started Alfred Gaming. Tell him to refresh in the live comments. Some people are saying it's false. Some people are saying it's true. I think it's abundantly clear, if you are a fan of United and you follow United on Twitter and all the everything that's going on, that we've been trying to sign Morata for weeks as well. Morata wants to come to United. Real Madrid don't want to sell him, and it's clearly about the fee. And over the weeks, it's moved up from 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 million euro, which it is now, which is 70 million pounds. And apparently that's been rejected. Now, I don't know why Manchester United fans are saying, oh, it's nonsense. Like, Lacazette's just gone to Arsenal for 52 million pounds. He's 26. Morata's 24, plays more for Spain than Lacazette does for France. He's played in 2 of the top leagues in Europe, not a pub league in France. If Lacazette's worth 52 million, then Morata probably is worth around 65 million. And Real Madrid don't want to sell him either. So I firmly believe they probably have rejected 70 million. They might have to reassess that and take 70 million or 65, but I do believe that there's something in that. And again, you get to that point of, how high do you go for Morata before it's too high? And again, I sort of empathise with a situation that Woodward might be in, that Mourinho is saying, I want Morata. He's the number 1 striker I want. And Woodward's going, they want 70 million, Jose. I want him. But they want 70 million, Jose. I could get you Aubameyang for 65. I can get you Belotti for 80. I could get you Ousmane Dembele for another 9. I want Morata for 70 million. And, you know, that's probably what's going on. And let's not forget, Real Madrid don't want to sell Morata. So we could spend £125 million on Ivan Perisic and Morata combined. They're probably not worth much more than half of that. I'd say 30 million for Perisic, 45, so 75 million for the pair. And we're going to pay another 50 on that. 60 on that, 50 on that. It's madness, absolutely madness. And then you realise why we are going for young talent. Let's take some of your comments, because I know I've blasted on a lot of that already. Wenger has been playing too much FIFA, says United in the stands. He's not worth 65 million, to be honest, says Pappy. I think the problem is, and I think a problem a lot of United fans are having is, I like Perisic and Morata. I know some people don't want them, but I do like them. But what I will say, in total fairness, is the higher those prices go, the more you've got to just go, hold on. Either the player forces the move and brings the price down, because Morata could hand a transfer request in, bring that price down, force his way out. It might take a few weeks, but he'll force his way out. Perisic could hand a transfer request in at Inter, I'm not playing for you anymore, force the price down. Why are the players not doing that? So that's one factor. Two factor, we're Manchester United. Why should we get mugged off? Why should what is effectively fan money? You know, we're not oil money. We're not oligarchs from Russia. We're not. We are money from the fans. It's our money at the end of the day that is paying this. So why should that 20 million of hard-earned money that goes into the club just be wasted on Inter Milan and Real Madrid? I think play a hard bargain. If the players won't force the transfer and bring the price down, walk away and get somebody else. Yeah, I would. I think that I do like Morata and Perisic, but there becomes a point. There comes a point there. It's almost like, not that I've been in this situation, but you've seen it on films, haven't you? Pretty Woman and all that lot. They're bidding for something and pride gets in the way and it goes beyond what you want to pay, but you'll keep going for pride and you'll massively overpay, and pride comes before a fall. And I think the trouble is as well, there are players out there that are arguably better than them. I wouldn't deny that. I'm happy with Morata and Perisic, but there are players out there that are arguably better than them, cheaper. And I think that's why Lukaku's come back in, by the way. Lukaku is apparently now back on the radar for United because he's not Mourinho's first choice, but Mourinho has said, apparently, that if Lukaku wants to come to United, he would take him. And that's the situation now. We're losing track of where we're going, and it's just bad planning. Really bad planning. You wonder why we weren't in contact with Inter and Real Madrid before the summer. Because we're being mugged off. Craig Curtis with a different point says Morata is worth the money. He will be class given a full season in our first team. Adam says Real Madrid got Ronaldo for 90 million when he should have cost 900. They should be eternally grateful for Fergie's generosity letting Ronaldo leave. Not only that, they got Beckham for 25 when he was probably worth 50 in them days. You know, we sold badly though. We always did. Aubameyang says Ibrahim. Arsenal got Lacazette. Are we done, man? Have we even got a second choice other than Morata? Says Denan the enigmatic conundrum. Why aren't we in for a Draxler instead of Perisic? Says King Carter. Refresh, it's live. 70 million is ridiculous for Morata, says Dylan. And let's all blame Griezmann. Yeah, I do need to bring Griezmann in. Obviously, Griezmann tonight or today as well. There is news. I hope you watched the transfer show this morning. It was a funny start. But you know what, as well though, I think last night was great because we did the show at 8:30 with Rodney. In fact, I need to talk about some Manchester United stand transfer news. We signed Rodney up and he's doing great. We've got some more signings to make, which I need your help with in a minute. But it was nice last night because we went live at 11, didn't we? Or just before with the Rooney thing, and it got us all excited. And we're like, yeah, this is the start of something now. 24 hours later and we're hungry again, aren't we? We need another fix. So hopefully something will happen tonight later on that we can go live off or something. But we need another fix. We do. It's just not coming in thick and fast enough. But Griezmann basically said that he'd feel dirty if he left Atletico Madrid, and basically said that, you know, he stayed. Well, he said it. He stayed because of the transfer ban. Which, what does that do for United? Thanks, Antoine. You absolutely messed our transfer window up. And he is a big factor in where we are. I don't care what anybody says. I know a lot of you like Griezmann. I used to like Griezmann a lot. I thought he was perfect for United. Fit as like a glove. Perfect number 7. Would have ripped the league up. We would have had the star signing of the summer. Sealed, stamped and delivered in early June. We'd have got Lindelof mid-June. And we'd be sat here relaxed now going, well, we've got Griezmann and Lindelof. The rest can wait. So let's see what happens. And he led us up the garden path, and then he tripped us up and rolled us down the hill, let's be honest with you. And people still are sat there as United fans going, oh, you can't knock him, it's loyal. Not for me, and it has messed us up. And I wouldn't have him at United now, I really wouldn't. I think, again, that small club mentality to go, yeah, you can mess our whole summer up, but we'll have you next summer. No, there's better players than Griezmann out there. I'd be looking at Dembele at Dortmund. I'd turn... And also, Griezmann's 27 next year, and that's not old, but we've lost a year of his prime waiting for him. So, no, I wouldn't keep Griezmann, so I'm glad you mentioned him. Simon Mellon has made a contribution. Thank you, Simon, on the Super Chats. He says, biggest window in our history, discuss, hashtag back to top. It is the biggest summer in our history. I mean, we've done Rooney to... until he officially goes. I think we've covered Rooney. I don't want to cover Rooney on this show tonight. Rooney going's massive though. Zlatan's going's massive. That's basically 2 strikers, which leaves us with Rashford at this moment in time. Rashford and potentially Martial. I think we need 2 more. Rashford and Martial are very young. Morata's coming in with a big opportunity, but he's never been a play week in, week out striker. We need 2 strikers. We definitely need 2 strikers, which then goes against this. We're only signing 4. Centre-back, striker, midfield, winger. I think we're signing 5 at least because we need 2 strikers. But that only adds to the frustration that we do need to sign a few players. We do need to sell a few players. But we're going on a tour that basically wipes out the whole of July in 3 days' time. And what's going on? What is going on with our transfers? It's a weird one, but I am relaxed. I think the less time there is, the more relaxed I become. And I don't know about how you feel. Get commenting, but I do. I just feel that we surely won't hit Friday night without a signing. But on the other hand, to feed the negative people out there, and there are a lot out there, it doesn't feel like there's a deal close. You know, it doesn't. I think a week ago I felt closer to deals than I do now. And I don't know whether you replicate that, but It's all gone quiet about Nainggolan. That was always a long shot, but it's gone quiet. It's gone quiet about Fabinho. Perisic and Morata, they are carrying on, but all we hear about those are we're miles off in relation to what those clubs want. And if we do get them, we're clearly going to overpay. So that's not, when they sign, it's not going to be like, yes, I don't think it is. And that's the sad thing. I mean, I like Perisic and Morata, but if and when they sign, I must admit, as much as I welcome them and I think they'll be good signings, I know straight away there's going to be a big negative inside me, which is we've massively been mugged off there, and that doesn't make it nice, does it? It's gone quiet about Matic. Lukaku sort of come back in this week, but he's been in and out like I can't say that on live TV. Lukaku's been in and out a lot, and Belotti. I mean, it's gone quiet on a lot of players, and that doesn't. I just don't know. As I said last night, not knowing is quite exciting, but history shows us not knowing means you're going to get disappointed by United. I hope we're not. I do have a lot of faith in Mourinho, and as I said at the start, I think you can sum it up in this way. It's very easy to be critical of Ed Woodward, but it is Perisic and Morata. And if Woodward is saying to Jose, look, are you sure you want him? Because they want 50 million for him. And Mourinho's saying, I want him. And Woodward's like, I can't pay 50 million for him. And that could be the problem. And the same with Morata. He is the chief executive, and he wouldn't be doing his job if he didn't say to Mourinho, look, I don't mind going over the odds for people like Dembele and Pogba and Neymar, but this is Morata and Perisic. It's my reputation on the line here that I'm going to overplay for players that some fans don't even want us to sign. So it can't all be Woodward. And as I said, I don't think he's done a bad job over the last few years. I think he bought badly because Van Gaal told him to. I don't think he bought enough under Moyes because Moyes overanalyzed it. And I think under Mourinho last summer, he did a fantastic job. A really, really good job. Sanjoy says, please like the video and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, I forgot to say that. Please do like the video and get involved. And remember, tomorrow night at 8:30 it is the Skype show. So we go live for an hour at 8:30 tomorrow night. I open up Skype. You lot come on. It's not scripted. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll take as many calls as we can. And Saturday Night Live at 8:30, we do the Twitter. We read all your tweets out, live comments and all sorts. So there's loads going on. So if you are new, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner and join the biggest and best Manchester United fan community on YouTube. It's a pleasure to have you, and there's loads of comments flying by as well. I've got to talk about our transfer news as well, which some of you might be interested in. Magnus L says, all in for Aubameyang then. Trevor Evans says, brilliant, 4,000 people watching. Bloody hell, there is as well. That is amazing for a Wednesday night. So thank you to all of you for getting involved. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes then, because you all deserve it. Amazing. Just keep spreading the word and getting involved. You know what? I think it's very easy to be negative, but I think we just need to hang in there a little bit more. Hold on. Don't be scared. We never change what's been and gone. Classic Oasis lines there. But no, we just got to hold on. There'll be plenty of times to be negative if it doesn't work out. But as I started the video with, Chelsea and Spurs haven't signed anybody. They finished first and second. And we've signed so many young players because to tell you what, the transfer market is wrecked. We probably contributed to it being wrecked last summer, spending 90 million on Pogba. It's messed up. The transfer window is messed up. And I think what United are actually doing is very intelligent, is buying up young players and really, Mourinho, apparently not a man about the youth. Why is he buying so many young players, which started under Van Gaal? Because the transfer market is destroyed. And if you want to sign a decent player in the future, you're going to be paying over £100 million. That is immoral. It is obscene. There is money in football, but £100 million for a footballer is obscene. And I think that's what clubs are doing now. I think we might see the death of the transfer market at some point. I think it will kill itself because you just can't. Clubs are going to have to stop refusing, and they're going to have to start sort of bringing in long-term players through the youth, which I think is quite exciting. Belotti is the answer, says Mohammed Shafiq. I need a drink. It's hot. Leave Morata and go for Aubameyang or Belotti, says Aman. Look, I do like Morata. I do like Perisic. I don't want us to overpay. We will get, like I said, we're not oil money. We're not owned by rich owners who just pump money in. Manchester United are a fantastic club. Obviously, we support them. We all do. We all love them. But we are a moral club as well. We are funded very much by the global support of Manchester United. And I know I always say it's not my money. And when it was Paul Pogba last summer, I thought, you know, one of the best players in the world, let's do it. It is our money though. It is fan money that makes these signings, because it's either money from our pocket or it's money from sponsors who want money out of our pocket. I know Adidas don't chuck loads of money at Manchester United just for the love of it. They do it so that we will buy their products as fans. So it is our money. And I'm not comfortable with spending 50 million on Perisic. And I'm not comfortable on spending 80 million on Morata either. It's not. That is a waste of our money. And I personally do think that that's why there's been delays, because I think Ed Woodward pretty much thinks the same. Not because it's fan money, but because he's got owners who are saying it's our money and we don't want to spend it all. But it's going to be an interesting few days, because, as I said last night as well, I can't see us starting the season with anything less than 5 signings. So it's just going to happen on the tour. I don't think we'll get 3 done in 3 days. We are going on the tour on Sunday. But it's an exciting time, and we share it together. And I think we've got to try our very best to just hang in there and be a bit positive. Watch us sign Matic tomorrow now, and that will just bring us all down. Matt Rowe, it's a very good comment. He says, Glazers pocket a fair amount, get real mark, moral. No, I think you've misconstrued it, and I'm happy to clarify it, Matt. Look, the money that goes into Manchester United is moral money. It comes from the fans and the sponsors who want to attract the fans. Excuse me. Where that money then goes is not moral in my mind. It shouldn't go to the Glazers, who bought our club on debt and then take money out and still don't clear the debt. That's not moral. But the money that gets the small chunk of money that does actually go towards the club to be used on transfers, that's still our money, because every bit of money that goes into Manchester United comes from fans and sponsors and TV companies, which basically Sky wouldn't give any club any money if we weren't being overcharged for the subscriptions. It all comes from the fans. Football is the fans' games. We just need to open our eyes up and see it. That's what we've been doing the United stand for 3 years. Football is your game. Fans just need to open their eyes and realise they are the power in football. And it will never happen, because they've got us all totally mugged off. Talk about transfer deals. The sponsors, the TV companies, the clubs, they've got us in the palm of a hand, because fans will never unite to do anything about it, but that's a different thing. But whatever United spend on transfers, it does come from the fans. So I'm not happy spending 50 million on Perisic, even though I do like Perisic. But he is 28. He's never played for a big club. And don't tell me Inter Milan and Borussia Dortmund are big clubs. You know what I mean by big clubs. Manchester United, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. They're the 4 big clubs in world football. And he hasn't played for any of them. So why would he be worth 50 million at 28? Who's 28 and a really good player? Name me a 28-year-old who's one of the best players in the world. Tell me one. There's a challenge for you while I read some of your comments. Why do you want Aubameyang? His first touch is worse than Lukaku's. Well, he's a better finisher than Lukaku. He's quicker than Lukaku, and he can actually use both feet, but his touch may not be that great. Give us a 28-year-old who is very, very good at football and has played for the top teams. I'm trying to think of somebody. How old's Juan Mata? There's one for the boffins. How old is Juan Mata? This will shut everybody down. Alright, okay, so Juan Mata's 29. So he's a year older. But remember Mata a year ago. Right, this is what we'll do. Remember Juan Mata a year ago. Not much of a different player to what he is now. Juan Mata a year ago was the same age as Perisic. Would you have paid 50 million for Mata, who has played for far better teams than Perisic and is arguably a better player? Case in point. Case in point. Perisic is not worth more than 35 million. Tops. Yeah, people are saying Bale. I mean, Bale's worth 50 million. Of course he is. I probably said, like, Mata's the perfect one. That's really where I wanted to go with it. That Perisic for that is just way too much. Bye, Nihilism. Didn't even get to read your comment out, did you? You'll have to set up a new account. What else? Hey, we're very close to 108,000 subscribers, actually, just while there's a lot of you watching. Remember to drop a like on the video. No, that's not what I wanted to say. If you are new, click the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner and just get involved. We're live at 8:30 every night. We've got a transfer show at 7 o'clock every morning. We go live if there's any news during the day. We went live last night at 10:30 when the Rooney news broke. So you've got to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified when we do go live. There was a comment there I wanted to read, but it was whizzing by. Who cares what he's worth? Just sign him up, says Add the Red. So he'd be, so this is all about fan opinion. He'd be very happy to spend £50 million on Perisic. I don't think that people will be very happy with it, to be honest, because there are players out that you could get for cheaper. Move on from Perisic and Morata. It's got to be Dembele and Lewandowski, says Mark Law. God knows what they would cost. Stuart Marson, Mark, can you see United panic buying again? You could argue that 80 million for Morata and 50 million for Perisic is panic buying, really. Aubameyang's 28, says Callum Giles. Yeah, he is. Would you rather have Morata or Belotti, says Rackshit Bala. I'd be happy with both, to be honest. I'd be happy with either. I'd be very happy with both. Tom, I haven't forgotten the super chats. I'll just do them all together. How much would you rate Perisic? I do like Perisic. I've got to say, I do like him. He's quick, he's skillful, he's very hard working, he's tall. He'd be a very good player for Manchester United, but he ain't 50 million worth. That's the problem. Lewandowski says Aftar Sidhu. I mean, you know what? Let me just throw a situation to you that could get you very, very excited. Just imagine that the 4 signings we're about to make are Nainggolan, Fabinho, Morata, and Perisic. We'd be over the moon with that. And whilst it is only paper talk, I think everybody pretty much feels that Morata is Mourinho's first choice striker, that Perisic is his first choice left winger, and I personally feel that his first choice midfielder is Nainggolan. So, the reality is, in the press at the moment, it's all about Perisic and Morata, and we can't get them. There's nothing about the midfielder, absolutely nothing, unless, as I fear, it is Matic, and we're waiting for Chelsea to sign someone so we can get him. I would be utterly uninspired if we just signed Matic. Imagine if we signed Matic, overpriced Morata, and an overpriced Perisic. I think people just won't be happy. But we'll see. There's plenty of time. Shubak has made a contribution. Thanks for that, Shubik. He says, Mark, do you think we will sign a striker tomorrow? Oh, of course, it was 72 hours ago tomorrow, wasn't it, that we're going to sign Morata? I think if we're going to sign Morata tomorrow, he's going to have to fly in the morning. That's what I would say. Because, and one thing's one thing. Sources, press, little snouts, everything like that. You always know when someone's flying in. So he'd have to be flying in tomorrow. Yeah, it could happen. I don't know. Alec Dukas said Lewandowski. Thanks for the contribution. James Aaron says, do we need a director of football? We've got that lad from Juventus, haven't we? Who's very, very good. And Stephen Lennon, thank you for the contribution. He said, thoughts? 130 million for Rodriguez and Morata. 65 million the pair. Yeah, I probably would do that. I don't know what everybody else does. I probably would do that. I mean, we've not even touched on that today, and I'm really glad we haven't really even spoken about Rooney and whether we'll get who's going to wear the number 10 shirt, who's going to wear the number 9 shirt, who's going to wear the number 7 shirt. There's 3 major shirts at Manchester United not being worn at the moment, and it is amazing. It is amazing. I can't help but believe and just feel that we have had not the summer that Mourinho would have wanted, and that there is still legs in this transfer window, and that we might just end up with big smiles on our face. I must admit that part of me does think, well, it was a year ago, this time last year, in fact, we'd signed Perisic. No, we hadn't signed Perisic. We still hadn't signed Perisic a year ago. This time last year, we'd already signed Bailly. We'd already signed Zlatan and Mkhitaryan. By this time last year, we'd signed 3, and the big rumours about Pogba had already started. So we knew by this time last year who we were signing. This year, when we've got more time to prepare, when there is no major tournament, when Mourinho hasn't started as manager on July the 1st, he's been here for a season, we're further behind. So it's abundantly clear it's not going to plan, but we've got to believe that we can turn it round. And I think, to be honest, the first 5 minutes, the examples I gave are probably some of the, if I do say myself, probably some of the most sense I've spoken in a long time, that first 5 minutes. But I just want to pick up what I was saying before. The transfer window's open. We've done a deal already. We got Rodney involved. He was on the show last night. Fantastic. voice of Velvet. He's going to regularly be involved in the United Stand. I also revealed last night what we are going to do next season, or we're going to try to do. There's a few options that we've got. A few people emailed me last night, soccerboxtv@gmail.com, or you can message me through Twitter, which is @MarkGoldbridge. Just give us a follow and send me a direct message. I think you can do that. What we're looking to do next season is get a bit of footage from the grounds. We do the watch-alongs, and we're live an hour before kickoff, right the way through till full time. There is modern technology now that we can Skype people who are at the game, not in the ground, because you'll get rubbish reception in any Premier League ground, but in and around the ground, straight after the ground. Skype you, get a call from you, talk to you at half time, before the game, live on United Stand in front of thousands of people. This is what we want to do. We want to get more of you United fans involved in doing that. If you're interested in doing that, if you're a match-going Manchester United fan, you're going to be at away games, whatever, we can get it all arranged through the summer and for next season, and we will get you on. Also, most people have got a phone these days. You can record yourself after the game, or you can compile it together. You can do it before the game, half-time, minute after the game, outside the ground. Film yourself on your phone, get someone to film it you, send it to us, and we'll compile it together in new content we're going to use around game times next season. And also, as I said as well, there is the potential that we might even get a camera crew up there, and if you fancy doing a bit of interviewing and stuff like that, massive opportunities. This is the United Stand. It is the biggest independent Manchester United fan channel because it is run by fans in their own time, and we want more of you to get involved. There's a massive audience out there because of what you've done with us over the last 3 years. There'll be new people getting involved tonight. There'll be new people tomorrow. We're going to keep growing and growing and growing. But the one thing we want to do, a year ago we weren't doing it. We do Skype Monday, Thursday. We get guests on all the time, and when the season kicks, we want to get more of you lot in front of the camera. And I tell you what, there's 4,000 people watching now. Most videos you get 30,000 people, 30,000 views on it. The watch-alongs sometimes get 100,000 views on it, and you can be on it. If you want a career in the media, if you want to, start getting involved, or you just want to talk about the club that you love, get involved. We're starting to compile a list. Soccerboxtv@gmail.com is the email to send us to if you're interested. Or like I say, follow me on Twitter @MarkGoldbridge and send me a direct message. As I said, what we're looking for is people who go to the games, or you might maybe just go to Old Trafford or whatever, or away games, and just get in contact, and you can be there. This is what it's all about. We want fans giving their real opinion on the United Stand. That's all we've ever wanted, and we want to get more of you involved. So hopefully you think that's a great idea, and you will get involved. Mark, have you heard about Neymar? Rooney leaving could free him up, says Schubeck. Thanks for the contribution. But Neymar's release clause just went up on July the 1st by another 50 million to over 200 million pounds. So that's that. The press can start the Neymar rumours for all they want, but that's not happening. Because if it was, we would have tried to do it in June. Fihan Sharma says, why? Oh, God. Okay, so Vihan Sharma says, why does another channel upload only a video a day in spite of being full-time and having multiple presenters, while you manage 2 to 3 a day being a sole presenter? Look, what I would say is what other fan channels do is up to them. We don't put a hell of a lot of effort into production. You've got channels like Copper 90, Football Daily. They do, and there's a market for everybody, is what I would say. I don't think it's about how many videos you do or how hard you work. It's just that we're a fan channel and we react to things differently to some, but some people do a lot of content as well. It's not really about the content. We've been doing it for a long time. Ideally, I would only do 1 video a day, but in the summer it just gets a bit. You've got to do Transfer Daily at 7 AM. We always do the 8:30 show every night of the year. And then if there's some big transfer news breaking, you can end up doing 3 videos a day. But normally, when the season starts, we'll be back to 1 video a day, which I think is sustainable and fair enough. Shahid Nazar is new to the channel, so welcome to him. And yes. Yeah, there's loads of ideas there. Dan Miola, thanks for the contribution. He says, Mark, if we aren't improving, we're getting worse. And White Shadow 77 says, I'm a big fan of you. And Benjamin says he loves me. Thanks for that. But seriously, this is something we want to get involved with next season. We want to bring you content from Old Trafford. Obviously, I do the watch-alongs. It's very difficult for me to sort of say I'm going to start doing things at Old Trafford because then I can't do the watch-alongs. We're looking at things around that. But one thing we can do very easily, because most people have got a mobile phone, is get you on live if you're outside the ground, get your videos after the game, upload them into content. So if you are, there's loads of people who go to all around. You could be Irish, Scottish, from Europe. You might just be coming over for one game from America or Asia or whatever. If you're going to be at Old Trafford or an away game next season, get in contact with us, soccerboxtv@gmail.com, and we'll start compiling a list. And one thing we do on the United Stand is we do things professionally because it's your channel and we don't want to mess about with it. So if you send us content in, we'll put overlays on and everything like that, and we'll make it look really good, even off phone footage. So I'm excited about it. I hope you are. We want as many people involved as they can. If you've got a season ticket, you might be on every week, but you know, you might only get on once if you're only going once. But thanks for all the likes. Let's hang in there with the transfer news. There's a bit of a good transfer news from the United Stand at the end there, I hope, and I hope you will get involved and take up the opportunity. All I would say is that if I'd been given this opportunity when I was starting the United Stand 3 years ago, nobody gave us any opportunity. Probably because I was a bit of an arse when I started off, to be fair. But you're going to get on in front of thousands of people, and I think that's a great opportunity, and that's what we want to do. We want to give you that platform. We've always said that the fans' voice has got to get louder and louder, as I was saying a few minutes ago. Fans need to realise that football's your game, and we want to give you a platform. If you're good, we want to give you a platform, and that's our gift to you, really, because you give us a lot back. And you know, cliche or not, it is your channel, and we want you to get involved, and we'll always buy into that. We'll always do that. And I must just say as well, somebody did remind me, every season when the new home kit comes out, we give away a shirt. 2 years ago it was 1, last year it was 2, this year it's 3. It's come out a month early. It normally comes out in August, the new home shirt. So we are going to be giving away 3 Manchester United shirts at some point in the next week. I just need to figure out how we're going to do it. So make sure you stay tuned, because 3 United shirts, you've got a good chance of the home one. We've already given 2 of the black ones away, so it will be the home one this time. Let's stick together. Let's stick together on the transfer news. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 AM with the transfer news daily. Unless something happens tonight, it could do. It did last night. Something's got to happen. It can't just carry on like this. Thanks everyone. I shall speak to you all soon, and maybe I'll be speaking to you very soon. But if not, I'll see you all tomorrow. Oh, Dan Miola's just made another contribution. He says, coming from New York City for the opener against West Ham. I've got an extra ticket. You or Ross trying to come. Could open your show with a bang. PS Matic sucks. Well, Dan, drop us an email, soccerboxtv@gmail.com. I know you've been on the show on Skype Goldbridge before, so I know you'd be great. I think there you go. We've got one fan at the ground providing us some content straight away for the first game, and this is how we want it to flow. So even if you are just coming from abroad, or you're there every week and you've got a season ticket, everyone's welcome. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all very soon. I'm going to go and watch the rest of the Gladiator. And nobody going to stop me. Ooh, Yaka Shack.